African people and the harrowing reality of the transatlantic slave trade back. Today we embark on a poignant journey through time, delving into the heart-wrenching and often forgotten chapter of human history, the transatlantic slave trade. Get ready to uncover the untold stories of African people and the unimaginable trials they endured. Let's dive in. Africa, Europe, and the Americas. The transatlantic slave trade was an epoch of horror stretching across centuries. Millions of African men, women, and children were captured, torn from their homes, and subjected to unimaginable suffering. To truly comprehend the immense impact of this dark era, we must first understand the origins of this horrific trade. In the heart of Africa, vibrant kingdoms thrived long before the arrival of European colonizers. These prosperous societies were intricately woven with rich cultural diversity, trade, and traditions. It is vital we acknowledge this thriving historical context, lest we fall into the trap of perceiving Africa solely through the lens of slavery. African leaders meeting European colonizers, Africans in chains. As European explorers set foot on African shores, a sinister transformation began. Gradually, these expeditions devolved into a ruthless hunt for resources and labor, acting as intermediaries. Some African kingdoms, driven by the promise of wealth and power, tragically engaged in the slave trade. Nonetheless, Africans were not passive victims. Resistance and resilience flowed through their veins and slave auction. Emotionally, the nightmarish voyage across the Atlantic shattered families and destroyed lives. Shackled together in the belly of overcrowded slave ships, African people endured separated from their loved ones, treated as commodities, and subjected to inhuman conditions. The indescribable suffering unleashed waves of pain that resonates across generations. Passionately, once disembarked on the shores of the Americas, many African individuals faced a lifetime of grueling labor on plantations, in mines and households. Stripped of their humanity, they endured unbearable hardship, their dignity, identity, and culture overshadowed by the soul-crushing weight of slavery. Abolition and emancipation of unfathomable adversity, African people's spirit endured. Brave souls fought tirelessly for their freedom, sparking abolitionist movements across the globe. Although the transatlantic slave trade eventually ended, the legacy of this dark era lingers on, shaping the world we live in today. Of people from various ethnic backgrounds. Today, it is crucial that we come together, across ethnicities and backgrounds, to educate ourselves about this woeful chapter in history. By acknowledging the past, we can build a more compassionate future, free from the chains that once bound humanity. Remember, the journey towards healing begins with understanding. Encouragingly, dear viewers, as we conclude this eye-opening exploration into the African experience during the transatlantic slave trade, let us not allow these stories to fade into obscurity. Instead, let them serve as a powerful reminder of the resilience, strength, and unyielding spirit of African people throughout history. Heroic individuals who stood up against the infamous slave trade in Africa. This historical chapter changed the course of humanity forever, and today we give tribute to those extraordinary souls. Buckle up and get ready for an adventure! African landscapes and illustrations of slave ships. Narrator. Our tale begins with a dynamic duo, Wilberforce and Olaudah Equiano. These incredible individuals fought relentlessly to bring an end to the barbaric practice of slave trading. Wilberforce, a British politician, used his influential position to advocate for the rights and freedom of Africans. He dedicated his entire life to the abolition movement, resulting in a pivotal victory in 1807 when the British Parliament banned the transatlantic slave trade. Historical reenactments of Wilberforce addressing Parliament. Really instrumental in this fight was Olaudah Equiano, a former African slave who witnessed firsthand the horrors of the trade. Equiano's autobiography, The Interesting Narrative of the Life of Olaudah Equiano, touched hearts and minds across the globe, shedding light on the inhumanity of the slave trade. His impactful writing instilled a sense of urgency in the abolition movement, pushing societies to confront the harsh realities and demand change. Images of Equiano's book, and people read. But the fight to end the slave trade didn't stop there. A remarkable woman named Harriet Tubman emerged as a true beacon of hope. Born into slavery herself, Tubman not only escaped from the clutches of bondage, but but dedicated her life to liberating others. By leading hundreds of African Americans to freedom through the Underground Railroad, Tubman shattered the chains that had bound her people for centuries. Visually captivating scenes of Tubman guiding slaves to freedom. Folks, brace yourselves for the incredible story of David Livingstone. This intrepid explorer and abolitionist ventured deep into the African continent, not only to uncover its mysteries, but to combat the slave trade as well. Livingstone's expeditions brought attention to the inhumane practices leading to international condemnation and demands for change. Footage of Livingstone's expeditions and interactions with African tribes. Our final hero, Frederick Douglass, stands tall as an extraordinary orator and abolitionist. Born into slavery, Douglass broke free and rose to become one of the most influential voices in the anti-slavery movement. Through his eloquent speeches and writings, Douglass brought attention to the atrocities inflicted upon African Americans, challenging the status quo and inspiring others to join the fight for justice. Clips of Douglass delivering passionate speeches. Brave individuals, their names etched into the annals of history, inspire us to this day. Their unwavering courage, compassion, and determination changed the course of humanity forever. The impact of their efforts resonates through the generations, reminding us of the power one person possesses to make a difference. Emotionally stirring visuals of freedom and equality. Viewers, let us honor their legacy by educating ourselves and spreading awareness. Like and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on these captivating tales from the past. Together, let's raise our voices against injustice and make this world a better place for all. Closing shot with the channel logo. Narrator. Until next time, stay curious. Upbeat outro music fading. Resources organization. Thank you for joining us today. We hope this video not only informed but also touched your hearts. Remember to like, share, and subscribe as we continue our endeavor to unveil the untold stories of our shared past. Let's keep learning,